Hi Taurus, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your September 16th to the 30th, 2020 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you would like to know the decks that I am using, all of them are located in the description box below. Now before we start this reading, let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from your body, like storm clouds. Feeling yourself become calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. All right. So let's see what the tarot has to say. And I'm very excited to be bringing you this brand new tarot deck. Well, to be using this brand new tarot deck. It is Tarot of the Divine, and like all the other cards, it is located in the description box below. It has absolutely magnificent energy, and every single one of the cards depicts a fairy tale, a myth, a legend, and that, as you know, if you've been with me for quite some time, or for any time, that is one of my favorite things in the whole entire world. So let's see here. Taurus, September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Taurus. September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Taurus. September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Taurus. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Ooh, goodness. Okay. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic. Also the cardstock, absolutely amazing. Okay. Let's see, before we turn these over, let's see what your chakra energy is for this time. Taurus, September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Taurus. September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Taurus. September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Taurus. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Ooh, fantastic. So you have 5. It's very intense energy around you. So we're starting here with divine wisdom. This is the soul star chakra located 6 inches above your crown. And this is a sense of divine wisdom walking with you. Taurus, you are a lover of quality. And this is the quality of information, really emboldening, enriching, and brightening your existence. You're going to have inspiration coming to you. You're also going to find yourself very drawn to certain texts, to certain ways of thinking, to certain inspirational people. This is because divine wisdom is speaking through them, through the objects, through books, through literature, through whatever media it is, to you. And you're almost going to feel as if this divine wisdom is raining down on you. And it's really quite beautiful. Then we have abundance, which is your root chakra, and this is the root of your existence during this time. That for which is abundant to you comes to you. Now, it doesn't have to be money, though it would be very nice if it is, but it is what you value as much as money. It is the abundance of yourself. It is how you have rooted yourself in this world. And this is what comes to you, embracing richness, embracing depth of understanding, and a prosperity of purpose. Then we have holistic health. This is also the root chakra. This is going back to your roots. This is going back to the roots of, Spirit is saying of humanity. But, you can sit there and argue that life expectancies weren't quite as long. And that's what Spirit is telling me. There's going to be this bit of a conflict within you, especially if you're not into or haven't tried holistic health before, holistic healing. And this is going to be a sense of kind of why not? Why not go back to a natural way? Why not embrace something that has been used for centuries? Why not? And that's going to be kind of your sentiment. Also listening to your body. What does your body need? Are you putting something into your body that is bad for it? And do you have to kind of see by process of elimination how to bring health and prosperity into your life? And so here, this is going back to very natural, very healing basis. And this is building off of it. Spirit is saying, okay, so Spirit is telling me to share my own story with food. And I have a very severe wheat allergy. Very, very, very severe. My intestines blow up. It's astoundingly painful. But I didn't know it. And so here, it is like you're putting something into you that is almost like poison. And they're just showing me wheat. And so for me, it is that. And it is, having to do the process of elimination almost yourself, to sit there and say, what is it that I'm eating that is hurting me? What is it that I'm putting into my body that is hurting me? And of course, talk to a healthcare professional, but you're also going to be guided by your own body and your own self. And for a lot of you Taurians, it's like, I can't live like this anymore. I can't have this be a part of me anymore. And so you're going to embrace a very natural form of healing yourself that does so much to improve the quality of your existence. And then we have nurturing. This is the Earth Star Chakra located 6 inches below your feet. This is nurturing your roots, your prosperity, yourself. This is emboldening and embracing what you need to move forward. And this is nurturing the inner child. This is nurturing you as an adult. And this is moving in a rooted and powerful truth. And then we have listening, which is the throat chakra. And so often with the throat chakra, we think instantaneously about talking, but we forget the power of listening. For you, Taurus, this power of listening is a power of your rooted self, is a power of the essence of the truth that you bring to the world. And so here, as you listen, it becomes like your superpower, because so many people in this world and so much of this world is about operating not on listening, but just on action, on hearing only yourself. And this is listening to yourself. It's listening to your body. It's listening to what your soul needs. It's listening to what you desire as you move forward. But it's also listening to the world around you. It's paying attention when you need to give yourself a break. And it's being kinder. It's being kinder to yourself. And it's being kinder to you as you move forward, because you're listening to the world around you. You're seeing something beautiful where most people are too busy just, rushing through to actually hear and connect with. Now, the left-hand side, this is your inner self. The middle is your heart, your emotional self. The right-hand side is your public self. So let's see what the tarot has to say. We have the 2 of coins. We have the 2 of wands. So the repeat of the number 2 is very important for you. This is a sense of connection and creativity. This is also a sense, of course, here of looking the 2 ways down the path of what you need and your existence. This is a portal to a greater self, because the 2 of wands is the Roman god Janus, which is the god of January, which is the god of portals, of gateways, of doorways. Now, I haven't gone through the book, and this is I usually don't. I usually like to hear how Spirit speaks to me through the cards. But this is one that I'm definitely just so curious about. So I can't wait to be able to know all of the stories offered. And here we have the Emperor, which is Aries energy. This is King Arthur. This is a time frame of March 21st to April 19th. If you were born on the cusp, okay, April 20th, and kind of like 5 days in, if you're a cusp baby, your Aries side is really going to come out. Even if you're not a cusp baby, Aries energy, especially if it's in your chart, is going to be very strong within you. It is your power, it is your truth, it is you being the ruler of yourself. And then you move forward to justice. This is a Libra energy, a time frame of September 23rd to October 22nd. This is justice, balance, truth, and this is being just to yourself. It's being kind to yourself, as well as being just to those around you. But Taurus, you have a tendency to bite off more than you can chew. And when you can't get it all done, when you can't reach, these kind of unreasonable expectations you have set for yourself, you feel like you've done wrong. Like there isn't justice, like you need to berate yourself. And that's just not true. We have the Three of Swords. Okay, 2 going into 3. Three of Swords, heartbreak, pains, disappointments. You have the Six of Wands to celebrate yourself. It's kind of like you're looking at the heartbreaks, the pains, the disappointments, and now it's time to celebrate you. You have the Ten of Swords. Every hurt, every pain, every disappointment over the past 10 years that has moved you forward, that you'll think of as failures, as things you don't want to look at, or, don't see the worth of. But they are actually everything that has shaped you. You have the Strength card, strong Leo presence, a time frame of July 23rd to August 22nd. Inner strength is absolutely important. You have the Fool, which is the Little Mermaid, which is absolutely beautiful. The Page of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. The Ace of Pentacles, a gift just for you. And because you are just on this roll here, you have the Magician. You are absolutely taking this gift, and it is beautiful. It is beautiful, the gift of prosperity that you are taking. And here, with the Magician, with Cinderella, there is a sense of really harnessing your magic, the inner power of yourself. And remember that, yes, magic can be conjuring magic, but for me, it is the God's head within. And it is calling on the God's head within, and knowing that a piece of divinity lives in each and every one of us. Knowing that stardust runs through our veins. And that is something astoundingly beautiful for you. As you move forward, and at your root, you're rooted in all major arcana cards, in justice, strength, and magic. So justice comes with the strength of your inner magic, with the strength of your magic and of yourself. Now let's see the people who will be aiding you during this time. Taurus, September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Taurus. September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Taurus. September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Taurus. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. We have here the King of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You have very strong fire sign energy within this reading with Leo and Aries coming forward. And this is a sense of power and of passion. This is the reason for getting out of bed in the morning. This is somebody who really speaks to the passion that you want within your life, the power that you need to move forward. This is a person who might feel as if they can't move as freely as they want to. And this is a person who inspires you. This can be a person in your day-to-day life and in your real life. But this is also somebody who inspires you through any form of media, through any form of kind of getting their message out there. And this is somebody who kind of gives you the inspiration to roll up your sleeves and go after what you want and where it is that you want to be, where it is that you need to be. And this is a person who speaks with passion, who speaks with authority, or whose essence, the essence around them, is that of passion and authority. And that is really quite enticing to you. Then you have Cernunnos. This is Capricorn energy, December 22nd to January 19th. This is a person who helps you to break the binds of addiction. Now, this could be addiction as in drugs, alcohol, gambling, but this is also the addictions of self-doubt, of doubting your own words. This is the addiction of feeling like you don't matter. This is a myriad of things that are keeping you from living your very best life and from moving forward in your power, in your brilliance, and in your truth. This is also somebody who's very grounded on this earth. All right, and that's going to be a really attractive thing to you, that they are grounded and steady and really are very logical with the way that they see things. You're going to be very drawn to that, but you also are going to see that they're not so, things aren't so dictated by this earth that it can't be any other way. There's still a flexibility to them. And that's what you need. If there is somebody who's really inspiring to you, but they don't have that flexibility, that's going to be something you need to be mindful of. So that's what Spirit is saying right here, that there is this brilliance here. They help you to move forward, but you need that flexibility. You need that brilliance. You can't have them be too rigid, or you have to be mindful of taking in that energy. I do know this is aiding and not a person to be mindful of, but Spirit is just making that very clear. And since Cernunnos will not be in the deck to be pulled again when we're asking Spirit who we should be mindful of, the fact that that message is coming across now is really quite beautiful. And then you have the Chariot. This is a Cancer energy, a time frame of June 21st to July 22nd. This is love moving you forward. This is somebody who you can't stop their heart. You can't stop what they love or who they love or how they love. And that's going to be very inspirational to you. And the fact that this person can be somebody who is usually overlooked, underestimated, but the power of their heart is shining through so tremendously that it really is quite beautiful. Now we start here with the Two of Coins. And what's really beautiful about this is that you have this mother with, I believe it is the mother with two cups right here, two children. One, they are both half bear, half boy. So there is what you are balancing, okay, is taking a lot of your energy. Things kind of haven't come out exactly the way that you have expected. And you're focusing so much on what is needed from you, all right, that you're not focusing on yourself. You're kind of going to let yourself fall to the wayside and say, I need to take care of what I need to take care of. And that's true. But you also need to take care of you. Because if you don't, how will the cups, how will the children, be? How will things progress? So it is saying that you have a lot on your plate to balance, and you do. But you can't forget to balance you. You can't forget that you matter. Because what's happening is, as you're seeing that you matter, you see that there is a balance needed during this time. As you look at your inner self, you're seeing that you're kind of spread just a bit too thin. You have the god Janus coming. And this is the god of doorways, of beginnings and endings. This is the god's name who January is named after. So here, with this power, with this repeat of the number 2, you're looking at the beginnings and the ends. You're looking at the way forward with the Two of Wands. You're seeing that the world isn't quite as overwhelming as it has once been. That you aren't quite as overwhelmed as you once were, which is very interesting because the Two of Coins right here, the imagery is very overwhelming. And then it's like, okay, you get the power. You see it, the prosperity, you're balancing the prosperity, you're balancing what is needed, what needs to be taken care of, what needs to be planted, what needs to be nurtured, everything that relies on you. And you're going to see it as it relies on you. And this is also a time to say there is nothing wrong with asking for help. There is nothing wrong with, needing some assistance. You're looking at the beginnings and endings of things. You're looking at the time in between. You're seeing ways forward. And things become a lot more clear than they once were. Things become a lot more open and honest than they once were. And as you're embracing this, and it's almost as if you're embracing a new year starting, which, who isn't done with 2020? It has brought a lot of very useful information. It has brought us closer to ourselves spiritually and personally. But it has also been a very trying time, and it will continue to be a very intense year. So here, as you're looking towards the future, and you're looking at the past, you're finding where you stand now. It's also being very aware that you can be caught up in the future and in the past, and forget the present altogether. And the present, well, it is a present, it is a gift. Do not overlook it, do not forget it, because it has not forgotten you. And you have the Emperor right here. I love that the Emperor is King Arthur. Now, as you guys know, if you've listened to me before, if you've stumbled now across my channel, then the way I see the Emperor is I see the Emperor as King David from the Old Testament. And the thing that I love about King David is that he's relatable. Christ is perfect, and then you have the Greek gods, the Roman gods, and pantheons before, and the gods are like humans but with superpowers. And yes, that is a very profound simplification of things. But David fails. He falls apart. He ruins things. And yet he strives for better. He connects with divinity. He sees more out there. Just like King Arthur does. And so here, with the Emperor, it is saying that you are profoundly human. And there's a sense and there is a need to come to terms with our humanity. For simple reasons, right, of kindness, understanding, and compassion, but also for the reasons of knowing that, yes, we will mess up. We will have to make up for the hurts, the pains we cause to the world. We will have to call ourselves out on things. And we will think that we're doing the right thing, or we will get caught up in what we want and lose sight of the bigger picture. But if we always come back to our center of kindness, of defending that which is good in our world, then we will move forward. We will connect with the divine, and we will see greater power out there for us and greater purposes for ourselves. And that's what I am seeing here. Now, the Emperor in his best form is like that, King Arthur and King David. And the Emperor in his negative form, well, that is Nero, who plays the fiddle as Rome burns. And that is what you do not need. And you might have had that energy in your life, especially a father figure or a very domineering, mostly masculine. It could be, a partner. It could be a father figure. It could be, just somebody in your life who believed that their word was law and did not care as long as they were getting what they wanted. And this can be a hurt that needs to be overcome. For some Taurians, it could be a failed relationship, okay? It could be, it could be a relationship that you were in for a long time. 15 years, 10 years, better, and you're looking at things now, and you're seeing your truth. You're seeing your desires. This could also be hurts and pains that you carried around with you for that long, that made you doubt yourself, that made you think you couldn't move forward. And here, this is the justice coming in. This is the Libra energy, the balance. Now, Taurus, you will have a tendency to hold your tongue until you can have things just right and until you can get the justice that you want. So for a period of time, a lot of you Taurians have been waiting, have been, building your arsenal, have been coming together with things, and then moving forward in stubborn determination towards a balance, towards a truth, towards a prosperity that you know is yours. And it has been, for a lot of you, years in the making. This justice energy, okay, Libra energy, time frame, September 23rd to October 22nd, this justice energy is bringing you to a new way of being, a new power that you are seeing, a new desire that you are moving forward in. It is justice for you. It is justice within your life and within yourself. And it is saying also to be just to those around you. Not so much that you lose the sight of you, but because you need to have this understanding of your power. You need to have this understanding of your truth, and that comes from harmony. Harmony is going to be the balancing force here, the repeat of the number 2. It's going to be astoundingly important to you. When we come to your heart, you have beautiful cards, and you have, a little bit more trying cards. And so we start here with the 3 of Swords. And the 3 of Swords is a trying card. The 3 of Swords is heartbreak and pain and disappointment. The 3 of Swords are the wounds that we have that define us. The heartbreaks that stay with us no matter how old they are, and that when we pull them out, can feel as if they happened yesterday. This is pain and this is sorrow. And this is needing to see your truth. This is needing to look at that pain and that sorrow and to say, you don't have that power over me anymore. They can hurt, most definitely. They may always hurt. These could be losses so profound that they will always define you. But they don't have the power anymore to bring you to your knees, to break your heart anew, to make it feel as if you can't move forward. And as you are looking at this, you are seeing this with openness and honesty, you then move to the power of your truth, the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands, for me, this is prosperity, this is celebration, this is moving forward, but to put it as simply as I can get it from Spirit, this is like having a really good boss. The Six of Wands is going to work, knowing that you are part of a bigger team or part of something that brings a bit of joy to the world. Doesn't matter how big or how small. It is having that boss that makes you feel valued, that makes you feel heard, that makes you feel seen, and who you really enjoy working with. The opposite of the Six of Wands, the reverse of the Six of Wands, is that boss that makes you feel like nothing. That boss who is angry and who is bitter and who believes that in order to be a boss, they have to rule over people like a tyrant. This is saying, what type of leader are you for you? What type of boss are you in your life, for your heart and for your soul? Because right now, you need that boss that lifts you up. You need to be that person for you, because you are looking at the hurts, the pains, and the disappointments that have held you back, that have made you doubt yourself, that have made you feel as if you can't move forward. And the way I have come to see the Ten of Swords is each year a lesson learned, a sword stabbed into us. No matter if it is the best year of our lives, we always have a lesson in there that made us see things in a different way, in a new light. And the Ten of Swords here is that doubt, is that hurt, is that pain, is that overkill. And it is that warning of the fact that we will not always be the person that we once were. As we live, we evolve. It can be astoundingly hard. And for some of you Taurians, it is hard. It is hard to see that way of seeing things, that idealism, that person isn't the same anymore. This is a dying away of the old self and a rebirth of the new. I see this as being very highly linked to the death card of the Scorpio. And here, you are finding yourself reborn. You are also seeing that sometimes holding on to things is overkill. And it carries with it a grief too big to bear. And it leads you to strength. Strength of determination, strength of the heart, strength of the soul. It leads you to realizing that you are stronger than you think you are. This is Leo energy, a time frame of July 23rd to August 22nd. You are embracing your strength. You're also going to be rather repelled by people who believe that brute force and demanding is the way that they can get what they want. You are going to find that it's strength through kindness, it's strength through hard work, it's strength through commitment, it's strength through love that defines. And that's how you define yourself. It leads you to the Fool. Now, the Fool can be being foolish. It can be. I also see the Fool as the beginning of our hero's journey. It is when we make a move that people look at it and say, why? Why would you do this? And now here, with it being the Little Mermaid and the traditional story of the Little Mermaid, that is a heartbreaking tale. So it is being foolish. It is being a bit naive with things. But it's also seeing that the road you walk on, your hero's journey, is far different. The outcome of your quest is far different than what you had thought your outcome would be. It is seeing things it is knowing that things go not as we have always imagined it to be. And it's taking that risk. And I think it's being also very mindful not to put the outcome of that risk in somebody else's hands. Not to say, I wager all my hopes and dreams on you. Instead of seeing the power of yourself and your soul and saying, I hold this magic, I hold this truth, and I hold this power to transform my life and to move myself forward. And here, that is what I see you doing. It is not being passive. It is being aggressive in the kindest, most wonderful way. It is moving yourself forward. And it is embracing a dream. And it is knowing that divinity will be guiding that dream. It leads you then to the Page of Wands. Being a student of your passion, of your determination, of your fire, of your commitment. This is the reason you get out of bed in the morning. This is what moves you forward. This is what inspires you. This is what guides you. The Page of Wands is a student of your truth, of your passion, is a student of how you want to be moving forward. And that's what we're seeing here, especially in this line, where you are seeing the endings and beginnings of things. You are seeing how you are going to move forward for you, how you are going to celebrate yourself, how it is that you want to be within your life, the ruler of your destiny, the boss of yourself. And then it is saying that there is so much that will be learned along the way. There is so much that is going to be coming in. Don't ever think yourself finished. Don't ever think, oh, I've learned enough, I know enough. There's always going to be another layer. There's always going to be another facet of truth that guides you forward and that leads you towards something more. And it brings you to the gifts of God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe. It brings you to the gifts of the Ace of Coins. This is prosperity, or what you value as much as money, being given to you as a gift from divinity. These are seeds to be planted. This is dreams to be had. This is truths to be known. The Ace of Coins is you seeing what it is that you want your garden to be. Think of your life as a garden. Think of your time here on earth as tending that garden. Sometimes, yes, the garden gets overgrown. Sometimes everything just seems not to be taking root the way that we want it to. And sometimes, plants plant themselves because birds fly over and squirrels come in. And this is seeing what it is that you are planting, what it is that you want. There's a theme to what you are growing in your life. There's a theme to the prosperity that you are planting within your soul and to yourself. What is it? What do you value? What is the worth of your existence? Not monetarily, but emotionally, personally, spiritually, powerfully. How is it that you are moving yourself forward? And what is it that you want to obtain? Divinity is giving you a gift of it, and you are taking it because you have the Magician right here. The Magician, as above, so below. As you believe it, so it becomes. As you desire it, so it will be. The Magician is very interesting because the Magician is the power of our mind, of our passion, of our emotions, and of our souls. And the Magician takes whatever it is that you want to create from your life or for your life, and it starts to make it real. And by this I mean it takes the mindset. Okay? It takes what you believe. And if that mindset is negative, it will create more of the negative. If that mindset is positive and can spin carriages out of pumpkins and can make mice into horsemen, then that is what you will have. Believe in the fantastical, because it could be part of your reality, even if it just is a hair's breadth of the truth. A hair's breadth of the fantastical is still pretty darn amazing. This is the magic that you are creating. This is what you desire from your life. This is transmutation. Think also of the Magician as the alchemist. The alchemist's goal was to turn lead into gold, and it was held that you could do it. Now, whether you can or whether you can't, who cares? But what I see is that this transmutation is not of actual lead into gold. It is of a human being into somebody who is valuable, who shines, who is gorgeous. And that gorgeousness does not mean, beauty beyond compare. It means gorgeousness of soul, power of purpose. It is taking something common, lead, and turning it into something astoundingly valuable. And that is what we're doing every single day of our lives. We're taking something common and we're turning ourselves into something extraordinary. Actually, we're just finding that extraordinary part of us that has been buried under the muck and the mire of this world and its existence. And as we embrace that, we embrace magic. And we see that dreams can come true in the most unlikely and most fantastic of ways. So let's go deeper. Taurus. September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Taurus. September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Taurus. September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Taurus. Angels and spirit guides, show me deeply. Guide this reading and show me deeply. Angels, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Show me deeply. Guide this reading and show me deeply. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. And then let's see the people you are to be mindful of during this time. Who are the people Taurus is to be mindful of? September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Taurus. Who are the people Taurus is to be mindful of? September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Taurus. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And show me clearly. Fantastic. These three. We have here the Prince of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. It is being very mindful of a person who is too emotional and too ready to pull you into their emotional drama. It is also a person, this is the second slowest moving night, right? So it is a person who moves slowly, who kind of is dragging their feet about something, and who wants you to drink deeply of a cup that is not inspirational to you, that is not your emotional truth. Interesting. You have the Prince of Swords. This is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is somebody who is moving forward without thinking. This is somebody who will tell you they have thought it through a lot, but they are kind of going off half-cocked. And you guys know the root of that saying. That saying is going off half-cocked is when you used to have to cock back the barrels of the rifles. This was in the Revolutionary War and the Civil War. And what would happen is while you were fighting, because there was such a frenzy, people would forget to cock back the rifle, to pull the rifle all the way back. And the gun would blow up in your face. And that's what's happening with this person. They're going out and they're going off too assured, too chaotically, too abruptly. And they might be fine for a time. And you might sit there and think, wow, aren't they born under a lucky star? They always just charge forward and everything works out for them. It doesn't, though. Something is going to blow up in their face in a way that is, well, it's just not pleasant as you would assume. And this is also a sense of moving too quickly without thinking things through. And then we have the moon. This is a Pisces energy, February 19th to March 20th. This is a person who lets fear rule them. This is a person who doesn't see that everybody is afraid. It's what kept our ancestors alive, right? To have a good sense of fear. Don't pitch your tent over there, it's a bug. Don't eat those berries, you'll die painfully of poison. Don't go over there, there's a wolf den. So we have this fear for a reason. But in our modern world, this fear doesn't get translated as as protectively as it did in the ancient world, as it did even a couple hundred years ago or 100 years ago. So here, this is a sense of knowing that there is fear out there, right? Yeah, because 100 years ago, finished one world war, we'll be going into another. So again, fear was useful. It was there for a reason. And this is telling us to ground ourselves in our truth, to not get caught up in propaganda, in anger, in fear, in doubt, and to move ourselves forward. Not in fear-mongering, but in truth and in honesty and in power. And to see what roads we want to have ahead. And knowing that the shadows, they're not something to be feared. They're something that bring depth. Depth to the situations, depth to this world, depth to the pictures that are being created and the stories that are being told. So let's see here. We have the Ace of Swords, the Devil card, Capricorn energy, again, time frame December 22nd to January 19th. So you do have a very good Capricorn energy here, but there's also something you need to be mindful of with them. Yeah, and you have the Three of Cups. This could be a person who was supposed to back you, was supposed to be one of your people in your corner, and they just couldn't be. And it's sad, but it's not the end of the world. It isn't. And for your heart, you have the Three of Cups. Here, the Three of Cups, they gave you two in this deck. This is the Mystical Creatures deck. And they gave you one with people and one in the pip form. And this here, for the Three of Cups, I see these as the positive. They're the people who celebrate you. They're the people who love you. They're the people who have your back and will always have your back. And then you have the Ace of Wands, God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing you a gift of passion and creation and beauty and fire and truth. And you absolutely take this as the Queen of Wands guides you forward. The world opens up to you with the World card, the Seven of Cups, dreams and reality coming together, being told not to live in dreams alone, the hopes and the wishes and the desires, but to see yourself actively manifesting your future through your ideas and your ideals, making dreams into reality, and knowing that you don't see the world the same way as everybody else. And there is nothing wrong with that. The Hangman here. The Ace of Swords, God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, hands you a gift of knowledge, of cutting through doubts and fears, of knowing where you stand and what you stand for. There's a clarity that is coming to you. You're taking it kind of-ish because it's in the first part of the reading, the first deck, the main part, where you have the Magician. So you are taking this in a sense. But because this is going deeper, it is a gift that is being given to you, and we don't have a court card here of the swords. It's a gift that is being given to you, and you are seeing things so much more clearly, so much more openly, so much more honestly. It is coloring the way that you see things, but it is also going to be something that you're always moving towards, always striving towards. You're like, I know there is this truth, and this sense of truth, this sense of identity, this sense of knowledge is what pulls you forward during this time. It leads you to severing ties with addictions, with doubts, with fears, with the negativity that does not let you move forward as you want, in the negativity that keeps you from embracing what you desire. This can be a person who made you doubt yourself. This can be a situation that you don't ever want to be in again. This is a sense of looking at things, but also being very grounded to this earth, saying, this is what I need, this is what I want to be able to move forward. And it's not being caught up in the prettiness, in the traps that are laid for us with the devil card. The world says you are to want this or you are to want that. You are to want to look like this, and these are supposed to be your gifts and your talents. And if you don't, well, you just didn't make it. And you're going to see that you are severing the chains of social norms, of constraints that aren't truths that aren't your truths, and ties that you don't want to bind you anymore. And you are setting yourself free. And as you set yourself free, you see the hurts and the pains and the disappointments, the negativities spoken over you, the betrayals that you've endured. And you're finding justice. You're finding your truth. And you're not having this define you anymore. You're not saying, well, I don't know who to trust because everybody always, betrays me, hurts me. It is knowing that there are hurts and there are pains in this world. No life is without sorrow. And it is seeing that, yes, sorrow abounds, but there is also beauty. There is also a splendor to this world that I am embracing. And that's what's in your heart. And yes, you might not trust as easily and as quickly as you once did, but there's nothing wrong with that. There is a knowledge and a wisdom to it. Trust is earned, not blindly given. And yet, if you're a really good person, as you are, Taurus, and you think, oh, wow, I don't trust this person. Oh, wow, I'm not giving them, all the respect and, trust that I should. I'm doing something wrong. And what you should know is the trust that is earned. That is something very powerful to give. And it needs to be proven that somebody can hold that. And that's what you're seeing here with the Three of Cups. With this Three of Cups, as you can see, that's what the people, this in the pipped style. This Three of Cups is beauty. This Three of Cups is the people who celebrate you, who move you forward, who have your back, who get you. And this is knowing that trust is earned. Joy is earned when it's shared with other people. And it leads you to the Ace of Wands. The repeat of the number 3 here, first of all, is a divine number. Things will happen to you in threes. You will see things in threes, okay? And it has to do with the taking of knowledge and passion and the breaking free. 3 times you will be asked, 3 times you will move forward. The Ace of Wands is God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing you this gift of passion, this gift of creativity, this gift of desire, this gift of truth, this gift that warms you. I mean, Prometheus was tied to a rock and has his liver eaten out for all of eternity for giving man the gift of fire. That is how important it is, because fire warms us. It is the sun in the sky. It is the core of our earth. It is what we cook over. And this gift of fire, this gift of passion, this gift of insights warms you heart and soul and has you moving forward in a way that is so much more freeing and so much more truthful. And it leads you then to the Queen of Wands. You take this gift. You take this gift, and from your strength here, and it can be also very tied to a Leo energy, from this strength here, you see the gift of you moving forward. You see the passion of what you desire. You see a truth and a knowing and a deliverance. The Queen of Wands is not afraid to get her hands dirty. The Queen of Wands can also be equated to Hecate in Greek mythology, the goddess of magic. And it is, again, the inner magic within you. It is that magic, that potion, that power, that purpose that drives you forward. You're not afraid to get into the thick of things. You're not afraid to question, to search, to look, to inspire. It is this heat and this passion that warms the seeds, that helps to grow what is greatly needed and greatly wanted within your life. The world starts opening up. In the public arena, the world opening up is a fantastic thing. And at times you will feel like a fool, as if you trust too easily or you don't see things properly, and there's so much that you want to learn and so much that you need to learn. And yes, that can be true. It can be. But there is also a depth of knowledge and a depth of being to you. You are starting a journey, and you are seeing that the journey isn't exactly what you expected it to be. And the world is opening up in a way that leads to celebration, but not always the celebrations that we had anticipated. Doors that once seemed barred to you, that you once barred yourself from, because of disabilities, because of not being enough, because of 1,010,000 different reasons, you are seeing open up to you. And yes, right now the world seems closed, but there is also an opening of it within your heart, within your soul, within yourself. A sense of, I see now, so much more clearly and so much more powerfully, how I am supposed to move forward and what is the most important thing to me. And as the world opens up, that becomes part of your truth. You see what is the most important thing to you, and you follow that path. You follow that thread. It leads you to your dreams. It leads you to living fairy tales. And not in simply a whimsical way, though who doesn't love that? It leads you to gifts being granted, and it leads you to being inspired in a way you didn't expect. The 7 of Cups warns against simply dreaming. And we can dream our lives away, and that's why we're warned against it. We can sit there and, with the brilliant depth of our mind, see a world that we're supposed to be living in, and yet never manifest that world into reality, because it is safer, it is prettier, it is more within our dreams than we believe it could ever be, because we are never handed gifts the exact way we think we should be. They always come differently, and they lead us to seeing the world so much differently, so much more unexpectedly than we had anticipated. And here, there is that fear. There is that sense, that artist's fear. It's always better in your mind than it is in reality. And that cripples. It does, it cripples. But here, it is giving way to dream. It is looking at the dream and saying it's time to part the curtain. It's time to have you come forward. And it is seeing what you desire and what you need, what you want and what you hope for. It's seeing a truth more, and it's having the courage to go after it. The 7 of Cups, 7 wishes granted, 7 dreams had, and maybe only the power to bring one forward, but living one fairy tale, living one happily ever after. Of course, now we're talking about Disney fairy tales, but living one happily ever after is quite enough for a lifetime. You can live 7, but it takes work. This is active manifestation. This is seeing yourself living, breathing, and creating what once you had only dreamed of. And it changes you. You see things completely differently. The Hanged Man. You see things completely differently. And you're going to think, oh my gosh, I'm wrong. I should see things like everybody else. What the heck is wrong with me? You're not like everybody else, Taurus. If you've stumbled across this channel, you're not like everybody else. Why try? Why fit in? When the greatest and most daring thing you could do is be simply and utterly you. You don't see things the same way. It is a gift that sometimes can feel like a curse, as true gifts do. Let's see what your spirit animals have to say. Taurus, September 16th to the 30th, 2020, Taurus. September 16th to the 30th, 2020, Taurus. September 16th to the 30th, 2020, Taurus. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic, these 3. And we have here the Wasp Spirit. This is one of my absolute favorite cards. It says sometimes life stings. And it's so true. And whenever I see a wasp, and you would think that I wouldn't like them, but when we were little, my brother, okay, my brother Joseph, he has a channel. You guys can check him out if you want to. His link is in my description box below. But my brother Joseph, he had a wasp get stuck under his glasses, and it kept on stinging him around his eye. And it has made us both him more so, yes, but very weary of wasps, very afraid of wasps. And sometimes life stings for no apparent purpose, for no rhyme or no reason. Sometimes life stings, and sometimes it doesn't sting us once. It gets caught under our glasses. It changes the way we see things. It hurts us. It scars us. And here, it is knowing that. And it's knowing that things aren't always beautiful. Think of a really good story. Think of a story that you really like. A movie that you really like. Everything doesn't always go perfectly all the time. Even if there is just a little bit of conflict, a little bit of pain, a little bit of hurt, it still adds depth to the story. And so sometimes life stings. And sometimes it takes our breath away with how tremendously it stings. But it adds a dimension to our being that we wouldn't have had otherwise. And then we have the parrot spirit. Watch your words. Because as you speak it, so it becomes. Watch your words. Watch what you are creating. Watch what you are cultivating. Your words have greater power than you realize. Be mindful when you speak. And be mindful of how you speak to yourself. This then leads you to the porcupine spirit. Time for a beginner's mind. In Buddhism, they have that saying. It is time for a beginner's mind. And I thought it was poor grammar here until I realized that. And it is coming to things without preconceived notions. Excuse me. Almost like a child. A beginner's mind. A learner's mind. And you have that here. You have that page of wands when it comes to your passion, when it comes to your career, when it comes to you moving forward, when it comes to what lights your fire. It's coming to things with a new mind, a true mind, a new way of looking at it. It's leaving behind preconceived notions and stepping into your power. And that is what you're being told here. Come to things with a beginner's mind. Take away the past and leave it in the past and look at things anew. Take all the lessons that you have learned, yes, but look at it anew. It's not saying to be naive or foolish. It is saying that as you take off the cloak of burdens, the weight of burdens, you see a powerful truth. And let's see what your subconscious message is. I love it. Tend to the small things. I love the mouse spirit. Because we tend to think that things have to be big. They have to be bold. They have to be, loud and overwhelming. It's kind of like love. It's like being in love with somebody who is only good at the big things. They're throwing parties to show everybody how much they love you. The big, grand gestures. But the little things, they don't care about. They don't say, I love you. They don't make you a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. They don't do the little things. And so you start to wonder if they actually care. Or do they only care when everybody is looking? It's tending to the little things. It's loving the little moments. It's being nourished by time. And it's having that beautiful power come around you. Your subconscious people message is the King of Swords. This is the warrior king. You're cutting through doubts and fears. You know what it is that you want. Now, the swords can be a little bit blunt, a little bit sharp and to the point of things. And sometimes there is a need to mind your words. Here with you coming through with the King of Swords, here with this Prince of Swords. This Prince of Swords is going to be very sharp, okay? Very much moving forward and not having a way with words like they should and thinking that they do. This can also be somebody astoundingly eloquent and elegant in their phrases, but tends to use logic as a barrier. And so this can be very well you, because I do see the subconscious as being the person that we bring forward into the world for ourselves. And this is being elegant and eloquent, and this is being, knowledgeable and truthful and factual, but sometimes using knowledge as a barrier, knowledge as a guard. And there's nothing wrong with that. I say this as an air sign energy, of course, but there is nothing wrong with that. There is power to that truth and beauty in that understanding. But as long as you know that reason isn't everything, and that you need to trust your instincts and yourself, Taurus, you'll be in a very good place. Spirit is saying to tell you that I have that balance needed with the air sign energy and the earth sign energy. My moon is in Taurus, my sun is in Gemini. And so the groundingness of Taurus wants to, have the elegance of words, kind of stomped out with the Gemini and say, no, things have to be more grounded, more real. And it's showing that there is beauty within what you create, as your feet are planted on the ground, but your soul flies like a kite. I don't know why Spirit wants that shared, but there's a beauty to it, most definitely. Forgiveness, your subconscious chakra message. Forgiveness, that's powerful. Forgiving others, yes. Sometimes, forgiving others makes us feel rather magnanimous, right? It's so powerful, I forgave that person. It's not wanting to break bread with that person. It's not wanting to let them into your life again. But it is saying, I will be damned if you have that power over me. One that is a little bit tricky, too, is the forgiveness of ourselves. The forgiveness to not be able to stop the pain. The forgiveness of putting too much on our shoulders. The forgiveness of fear and doubt, and selling ourselves short, and buying into other people's lies. The forgiveness of not trying, or trying too hard. The weight that we carry within our souls. It's forgiving ourselves. Sometimes it's forgiving ourselves and we don't even know why we need to be forgiven. But we carry around a weight that's too deep. And it seems like we carried it forever. So we could be forgiving our past life selves, our DNA selves. It's finding freedom. It's lessening the weight of our souls. And it's freeing ourselves. And this can be astoundingly hard, but astoundingly beautiful. It moves you to your subconscious tarot message, which is the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is not listening to the fear of everybody else, the words and the temptations and the doubts. It is stopping. And it is listening to your inner truth. It is knowing that you fight the good fight for what you want. Not falling victim to Baba Yaga in the background. Not losing track of our ways and our truths. The Nine of Wands is learning to stand tall. And to say to the world, you keep your opinions to yourself. I will live in my truth. It is not falling victim to fear. And even if we do, it is not letting it rule our lives and rule ourselves. Your subconscious is then clarified by the Page of Wands. Again, the student of your passion, the student of your desire, the student of the way that you move forward. Your subconscious says that there is a lot that you are learning. A lot of messages that you are taking in from the divine. A lot of ways that you are moving forward. Embrace them. See them. Be guided by them. All right, Taurus. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as you move forward in the power of your convictions, in the beauty of your soul. Knowing sometimes that the most powerful things we can do is forgive ourselves for the past and see the beauty of where we are headed. Take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and harmony, Taurus.